of seats in here for you guys in the back when your legs start getting a little bit tired. Upcoming training classes, there's a couple that I want to spotlight and point out. We have today a business action plan with Bill Mathis. Bill Mathis is like, what's that company when he speaks, people listen? Remember that?
E.F. Hutton.
E.F. Hutton. Thank you, Troy. I'm dating myself a little bit. But thank you, I appreciate it. And also, this is going to be an outstanding class. You can see the different classes we have up here with Jason and all those. They're all great. Paul Dethridge is going to do one next Monday, How to Cap in Your First Year. And he gave me a preview of his lesson for the day, and it really is phenomenal. I mean, you know, it's like they say real estate is not easy, it's simple. And he's going to make it very simple for you and how to cap in your first year. Tuesday, August 12th, lead capture and follow up with Larry Garcia there at the bottom. And that will be another good class to go to. No sales meeting next week. Who knows why we don't have a sales meeting next week?
Bold.
Bold, that's right, bold. And all of you are going to bold. So we don't want to make you have to make a decision between bold and the sales meeting, because I know you guys enjoy the sales meeting and I enjoy having you here. But I'm going to be at bold along with probably the majority of you. So no sales meeting next week. Still time to sign up for bold, and that's pretty easy to do. Most of you have done that. There's still a few of you. That have not, so I encourage you to do that. And then our board is having a Wild Wild West Casino night, and it's a dinner. It's the event of the year for the board, and it's Saturday, August 23rd. So, excuse me, about 3 weeks from now, Visalia Elks Lodge. Costs us $25 per person, and that comes with full food. And also, if you want to, you can play cards, and they're going to have dancing and live music by Midnight Wine. And they might have midnight wine at midnight. The music and then the wine.
Likely.
And I think we have some flyers, or yeah, okay. So talk to Kirsten if you need some more information on that. I want to go to our awards. We have quite a few of them today. And we're going to start out with our highest closed sell. Our highest closed sell, you have to be sitting down to receive the award. So. Our highest closed sell was a sell at 4601 Modoc for $1 million. Land that we don't go to very often, and that was the Jillian Boss Real Estate Team. We have a Rising Star Award, and our Rising Star Award goes to Lisa Van Dyke. And Lisa, I understand you closed your first escrow not too long ago.
Yep.
How'd that go?
Pretty good, actually.
Yeah?
Better than I thought.
And you did it all yourself, and everything went real smooth?
It helped me out.
Ed Moore helped you out. Okay, good job, Ed. Congratulations. I understand you have some listings now, and things starting to roll for you. So congratulations on that. KW Cares Award goes to Judy Pernstill. Judy's not here. Cheryl will take it for her. Okay, wonderful. And the MCA Award goes to Melanie Palmer.
Yay!
All right, yeah. Good job, Melanie.
I just mentioned that my mother still thinks I'm in kindergarten, and her dad's giving her an award. And my sister.
Welcome, Jan. Welcome, Allison.
That's funny.
Top 10 listings. Number 10. And to get on this list, you have to have quite a few listings. So starting with number 10 is Gene Chesser.
Yay.
Number 9 is Pimentel Realty Group. Number 8 is the Hector Martinez team.
Yay.
Mom's not here.
Jan will give you a hug.
Next, you can stay right there because the number 7 listing agent is Team Guy. Number 6 listing agent, the Simon Guy team. Number 5 listing agent, the Larry Garcia team. Number 4, listing agent Judy Pernstill. Number 3, listing agent Harper Bishop team. Number 2, listing agent Ed Martin. And number 1, listing agent Sarah Simmons. Raise your hand, Sarah. There she is. All right, top agents. Number 10 for the month of July. Paula here? Paula Pitts.
That's why I'm here today.
There was a reason. She was here last week.
Yeah.
You know what?
Not yet. I gotta contain.
You know what? I think you and your son got or you didn't get confused, but your son got confused. He was here last week for the award.
There it was. Yeah.
You got it right though. You just need to get her here. Number 9 sells for the month of July, Bill Mock. Number 8 sales agent for the month of July, Jeremy Jennings. Number 7, this is a consistent person on the list the last 6 months, is Deanna Souza. Number 6 sales agent, those listings must be selling, Ed Morton. Number 5 sales agent, Terry Langdon. Number 4 sales agent, Gene Chesser. And I'm happy to announce the number 3 sales agent goes to John Stone. Number 2 sales agent, a regular on this list, Eric Anderson. Number 1 sales agent, Bill Mathis. Now team awards. Number 5 sales team, Robin Graham team. Number 5, Robin Graham. And she had a baby 2 days ago. Happy baby boy. Landon. And that was yesterday or the day before?
Day before.
Landon.
Is that baby's name Harvey? I heard.
Yes.
After me.
Do we have Paul? Who's there with you?
No, Jones.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's see if we can mouse it over. All right. Number 4 sales team, Joe and Holly's Elliott team.
I brought my mommy too.
Number 3 is the Harper Bishop team. Number 2, and this comes with selling $1 million home, the Jillian Boss team. And number 1 sales team for the month of July, the Kevin Blain, Sarah Simmons team. Congratulations to all of our award winners. Jason, did I cover it all? Awesome. Very, very good. Congratulations to everyone. Country Club Mortgage is here, and we always invite Country Club Mortgage to say a few words, let us know what's going on with. There we go, Sandy. Let's bring her up.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, today I wanted to go over some changes that are happening for conventional loans beginning August 16th. DODU will be updated. As you know, all this information. Conventional loans, to get a new conventional loan after a foreclosure, there's a 7-year waiting period currently. 4-year waiting period on short sales, and 2-year waiting period if you're putting 20% down. Those are changing August 16th. The 20% down option is completely going away. So for a short sale, there will be a 4-year waiting period to get a for conventional loans only. New conventional loans after a short sale. They are, adding though, one good thing, the 7-year waiting period can be shortened with extenuating circumstances. Extenuating circumstances must be documented though. I've had it come up in the past where it's just kind of thrown out as something really easy, extenuating circumstances. be aware that continuing extenuating circumstances have to be documented in paperwork. And what they're talking about is non-reoccurring events that are beyond the borrower's control that result in a sudden, significant, and prolonged reduction in income, catastrophic event. So I know that's a lot of information kind of thrown out in a short amount of time, but I know it's really important when you sit down with a listing, possibly that you're talking about them ending up in a short sale situation. And one of the questions I'm sure they throw at you is, well, how long do I have to wait before I buy again? If they're looking at only wanting to go conventional, you need to have the right information to go out there. To add to that information, FHA usually is a shorter waiting period, both foreclosure and short sale waiting period is 3 years. There is, though, with a short sale, a shorter waiting period. I'm actually doing one right now where he had a death in the family, and after 1 year, 12 months after short sale, I was able to get a DU approval, and I'm going through escrow with that person right now. So extenuating circumstances on a short sale, FHA can actually even be shorter than the 3 years.
So Cindy, outside of extenuating circumstances, FHA VA is the 3-year waiting period?
FHA is a 3-year waiting period. VA, 2 years. Short sale, 2 years on a short sale and a foreclosure.
2 years on VA.
Mm-hmm.
And conventional is rolling to a 4-year. The 7-year.
On a short sale, 7-year on a foreclosure.
So when you mentioned 7 years, that was on a foreclosure?
Already,
Okay.
yes.
On the 20% going to 4-year, when does that start?
August 16th is when the changes go into effect. If you've already got something in escrow right now, and the lender has an application date and an open file and a contract date, and it's all going prior to the August 16th date, it rolls back to current right now rules. 2 years, 20% down conventional.
How do they view a deed in lieu of foreclosure versus a foreclosure and a short sale? Do they view that differently?
Deed in lieu of foreclosure is kind of looked at the same as a short sale. On here, it's in the same category. Any other questions? Thank you.
Cindy Timbrook, thank you. Okay, we are happy to introduce again one of our MSAs, excuse me. And I want to say this correctly and bring her up so she can say a few words. And it is photography by Lynn Learn. Blain, come on up.
Well, hopefully some of you have seen me lurking around the last few months because I kind of feel like I've been slowly working my way in. I've met a lot of you, worked for several of you now. And so what I've been doing is I've been going out and shooting listings, marketing your properties, trying to put them in the absolute best light for potential buyers. And other realtors looking at your property as well. It's kind of a win-win for everything. I got a call from Connie. It's probably been about 1.5 years ago. I was trying to remember when that was. And I've been doing photography for a long while. I mean, probably about 11 years now. And she says, do you shoot houses? And I said, but I will try. And so I went out and I shot that house. I had the best time. And really, I thought the pictures for my first time turned out beautiful. She loved them. And I just thought, this is actually something that I could really do, taking care of my kids, working, and this is something I could do to supplement. And it's just sort of been growing and growing and growing, and I have some regular clients that I appreciate so much that call me for every listing, and I would love to work for you all. So if you have any questions, anything that you are concerned about, I've had some realtors say, what about this, what about that? And we just kind of work through. Every realtor is different in what they're expecting, what they're wanting, how they want to, if they want to meet me at the house, if they want me to, just go and take care of it for them, which I love doing that. I try to keep it as simple for you guys as possible. I'm looking to save you time, and hopefully that will save you money. It will help sell your property faster, and I would just love the opportunity to do that for you. So I appreciate that.
I just want to fill Lynn's bucket real quick, skip ahead, and just say she's done an awesome job for me. And it's been impressive for my clients, and they absolutely love the photos. They get it, they have to say, "Oh wow, I didn't know my house could look that good."
I actually have had people say, I've never seen my house like that. And I had a client last week, in fact, I shot a house for some friends of mine, that he called me later and he said, I shouldn't even say this, but he said, I'm thinking about pulling my house off the market.
It's so pretty.
I actually am in love with my house again. Here's the best part, and I think I told Melissa this just this morning. I put together a slideshow for them, which I've been doing for some of the higher end properties. His agent had a client that he'd been sending out pictures to. He sent them the slideshow, and they made a 20-day cash offer based on the slideshow alone. And I know the market's changing, but I am still going to take credit for it. So anyway, I have cards back there. If you want to pick them up, put my name and your contacts in your phone. So all you have to
She
do
can
is
make call
me.
ugly houses look pretty too. So you
You know, though, I'm
We'll
very
look at
careful
ranch.
about not representing the property. I used to sell real estate myself, so I mean, I know there's guidelines. I'm very careful about that. I don't, I'm not going to Photoshop in a hole or something. I'm very careful about, I mean, really, I think mostly mine is just, it's just presentation and angles and, how to make the space look like the actual space and how to, fill light where you can fill light. And when I'm walking through the houses, I'm looking for selling features. They can look on paper and see, square footage, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms. I mean, they see the price. But there's a lot to be said for the way they feel about the house and the features in the house that are going to make the difference in whether they want to buy that house or this house. So that's kind of what I do. Thank you.
So if you have photography needs, contact Lynn Learn, and her, as she mentioned, her cards and some brochures and flyers are back there next to where Jason's sitting, and the cookies are complimentary of Lynn Learn Photography as well. So,
I'm going to leave them here anyway.
yeah. She was up all night baking.
I
them,
was.
so make sure you-
Pay no attention to the Save Mart bags underneath the table.
They look delicious. No, I don't think anyone's complaining. Main Street Escrow does escrow, and they do not do title. So there's different choices in title, and one title company that's here that has a few words to say, and we'll welcome them up. From Chicago Title is Steve Pitts.
Well, I gotta say, the meeting I was thinking was a lot of loud music in here. Keller Williams, I'm thinking dancing. I'm thinking their training meetings was a whole different view in my head, which was a good meeting. I was just thinking that you were all pretty loud and had a good time most of the time. So something out of the box today, because there's a lot of team players here, and there's a lot of team leaders here, and there's a lot of captains here. Thought I'd do some foo-foo for you, because this is a little different for me, but really it's just for Jason. And I'm thinking we could start off with a little cheer and you can play along with me. So we would start it out with a little T. Give me a T. T. With an I. Give me a T. T. Give me an L. L. Give me an E. I don't know how to do an E. What's that spell? Title. Just to get the image in your head of title. We want to do your titles. We want to take care of you. They've been in business for many years. We actually have one footsteps away to take care of title and be right here with you, right downstairs. There's 3 gals in there, and then we have the Main Street. We got Tulare to play with your Tulare office. We like to play wherever. So, and any of your needs as far as title goes, we're there trying to help you with that. I'm kind of an extension. I just started getting phone calls. I've been in it for about 90 days now. And so people are calling me now, so it's kind of exciting that you're calling and hey, how do we get this Chicago agent working, or my Premier Services needs to be updated. We do have some tools to help you in your business. I don't know if everyone's set up, but there's a Chicago agent that we have to give you net sheets and get you numbers, and you can actually text it to the customer for the buyers and the sellers. That's kind of a nice free feature. We don't get to give you anything anymore, so there is an upgraded product within that Chicago agent that you can up to for a one-time fee that makes the flyers a little more glamorous with colors. You can put your reds in there, your reds for Chicago or for Keller. So you can do a few different things with that. And then we also have Premier Services, which is we have Marion, our customer service, which I think is like no other. I've been using her. I didn't even know about her, and I've been using her. People question me, boom, I send it to Marion. 10 minutes later, she's shooting it out. I mean, she's pretty Johnny on the spot with your property profiles or getting you information, or you need a map that you can't pull up or things like that. You can always go to Marion. I brought some of her cards so you'd have her contact. But there is a feature we have that you can do on your phone, on your iPad, on your computer. It's property profile, and you can look up the property yourself, get a property profile, get comps, get maps. You can do things through that. It's a free service. And then you can download it to 5 other items also, your iPhone, your iPad. So on the weekend when you're out in the field, you can pull it up yourself. You can actually take a picture of the property and it will scan it and pull up the property profile. So it makes it nice that you can do those things outside and you don't always have to call Marion, but Marion is there waiting for your call. Basically is how I see her. She's pretty excited about it. At 7:50 today, I sent her something last night and she was on it at 7:50. At 8:01, it was already being sent to the client. So she's really a nice go-to person. So her information's over there. Chicago agent information is over there. But if anything comes up with that, or you guys would like to be set up on Premier Services or the Chicago agent, give me a call. It's pretty easy, a 5-minute, and it's pretty short and easy to get set up.
So the Premier is where the property profile is?
Yes, Premier Services will set up.
And is that a
property
fee or is that free?
That one's free, yeah. They're both free. There's just an upgraded one with
Right,
Chicago
well, I've got
agent.
Chicago agent, but
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Do you use Chicago agent?
Yes, I do.
Right on.
And I've used Marion for property profile for many years.
Right on, right
So
on.
that'd be nice to have them.
That's good. And if you have a problem, then you just give me a ring, so then I can try and delegate it. So it's short and sweet, because I wasn't sure on time. You know, Chris Jelly used to get on me at MLS because I got past that 60-second marker. So I don't want to go too far, but I have a few questions. So if there's a problem and you need some help with Chicago title, who do you want to call? Yes. Well, one needs to answer so I can do the one gift item, because I have a few items for these answers. So the first answer was Steve Fitz. And I know you need coffee, so here's your coffee. If you're having problems with your, we got to go to the back, because you know the people that sit in the front usually get the best show. The people up front, they always get the free items. People in the back don't get ahead. I can't believe Bill's in the back. How come you're back here in the back? Have to, zero people out. If you have property profiles, if you're having a problem with that in your computer, who would you call? Mary. No, you call Steve. You'll get it. For Simon, that. This is really for Simon. I'm just going to give it to him because that's so you don't get wet out there. So the real deal is, if anything goes on with anything with Chicago title, who do you call? There it is. There it is. Here we have a color book for you. These are, this job is hilarious because I walk around with a man bag and I give out items. So if I just work on my belly and my beard, I'll be in good shape with this job.
So can we book you for the Christmas party? Will you be
No. Another thing, he spoke of Wild Wild West coming up. That's a big event. And I've learned within committees that the first meeting of a committee is like this room. Everybody and their uncle is there the first day of the committee meeting. Well, the third committee meeting, it's like this right here is the committee meeting. So I was the only one there and they were looking for somebody to talk. So they all looked at me and I'm going to do the corrupt sheriff at the Wild Wild West. So it might be,
It's going to be
we
great.
don't know what it's going to be, but I think you should show. It should be a fun event, and it's sponsored. It's promoting two good things with Grandma's house and the fairgrounds. So those would be good things to promote. So, who are you going to call?
Steve
And then this won't work for Troy because he doesn't wear makeup, but these are good for your phone. Oh, that's a front row again. I gotta stay out of the front row. But anyway, give me a ring if you have something that comes up, or you need help, or you need something that's going on. Oh, First American's here. These guys do Title II. We all work together. It's all a good deal. But, I actually have cards right over there. I'll grab them. But anyway, if you have, I'll give these to Troy because I know he has some.
Oh, yeah.
But thanks for letting me talk. Give me a ring, Jerry.
Let's play when. Speaking of go fight win, we have our broker 60 seconds. So since we're in the
Give me an F. I don't know how to spell FERPTA.
Two I's and two P's.
All right, I know many of you have been waiting for the second installment of the FERPTA files. So I had a question after the last meeting of if an affidavit of non-foreign status is signed, is the FERPTA still required? Steve is going to give out more prizes if you get this.
You weren't here last week, were you?
Okay, there we go. Okay, Foreign Investment and Real Property Tax Act. Foreign Investment and Real Property Tax Act, okay? So it's quite complex is what I'm figuring out. But it is on your buyer to withhold, okay? It's on your buyer. So if a seller does not provide it, your buyer still has to collect it. Otherwise, they have to hold 10% of the purchase price. Now, that's the law. Now we start getting into exclusions. We start getting into when are people excluded. But that's where we can lose me and a lot of you. So what I want to drive home is, first of all, an affidavit of non-foreign status is this form. Okay, it is the FERPTA form. Okay, so the question, if an affidavit of non-foreign status is signed by the seller, is FERPTA still required?
No.
Yes, it is the FERPTA form. Okay, so it's a trick question. So we won't give out any gifts for that because it was a trick question. But in other words, it is. It's one and the same. And it says that right there, FERPTA. Now, let's say that the seller fills this out but does not put on their social security number. Does the buyer, and they're stating, I'm a U.S. citizen, does the buyer have to withhold?
Yes.
Yes, that's right. That's exactly right. Your buyer has to withhold. Now, where we get into difficulty is you don't have the listing. You have a buyer. They did not provide you with this seller affidavit of non-foreign status. Your buyer then has to instruct escrow to withhold 10% of the $350,000 home, 35,000, sorry, on behalf of the seller because they were not provided this form. You see how this could get difficult to try and get a social security number from a seller that's not your client, right? So I want to reiterate, we're working through this, but I do want to reiterate that that Main Street Escrow, this is the FERPTA form done by Main Street Escrow. You're allowed to assign a neutral third party, which is defined by the law as an attorney or an escrow company, an agent on your behalf that can collect this information. Main Street Escrow does this for Cal FERPTA and for FERPTA. Okay, this is their form of this. So you do not have to be worried about doing it. If your escrow is with Main Street Escrow, you can check this off your mental to-do list. But you are going to be seeing this form as a requirement on our checklist. Okay, because we've had already this year over $300 million in increased foreign investment business. And what we think is, as agents, is we think, when I first started researching this, or Christy started researching it on my behalf. When she first started telling me about it, I thought, well, if the person is obviously a U.S. citizen, and then we don't need this form. Right? They're a U.S. citizen, so we don't have to worry about the withholding. That is not the way the law is written. Okay? If they're a U.S. citizen, but they don't provide you this form, your buyer has to withhold.
It's investment property, so that it's not their personal residence.
Yes and no. That's correct. That is one of the exclusions. I know it gets very complex after that law. Okay, so there's multiple. I don't have time to go too far into it, but investment property is one of them. But if the buyer is going to be living in the house for more than 50% of the next 2 years, there's all sorts of exclusions. But that does not exclude you from having to get this form.
So every deal, we should have that form?
There you go. That's it.
Beginning,
Okay.
is there a due date to start?
Yeah, it started 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yes.
So
You're supposed to have your sellers put their social security number on there and then send it to the buyers.
Oh, see? Excellent question. That's correct. That is right. That's the way the law is written. Or, because I really don't want you all collecting social security numbers and putting it into dot loop.
No kidding.
Okay? I don't want that. That's a situation. That's why we're trying to figure this out. Because we really don't want that many personal information. Even though the form says on here, buyer's unauthorized use of disclosure of seller's tax identification number could result in civil or criminal liability. I'm afraid that maybe criminals won't take that seriously. I don't know.
So if all escrow companies did this, that would be the best.
That would be fantastic. Yes, I can tell you that Main Street Escrow does this. Okay, so it will be on your required checklist because you have to have the form even if the exclusions apply. You still have to have the form. Yes.
Since you have 3 escrow companies today here, I would imagine that they're all going to take care of it, right?
All of them.
I don't. Yeah, I don't want to speak for other escrow companies. But
Not to put anybody on the spot.
right. But what we can say is that Main Street Escrow is doing this. Okay, if your escrow company is not Main Street Escrow, and that does happen on occasion, then you need to check with them and see if they are providing this form. Okay, if they're providing the FERPTA form. If they are not, then you need to have that in your file and give it to the buyer. It's required. Does that make sense? If you're with Main Street Escrow, then you don't need to worry about collecting this form because it will be collected. And if the withholding is necessary, I don't want you guys determining whether withholding is necessary either. So if you collect this form through escrow, the escrow is now maintaining that form and has that responsibility. Yes, Kate?
But you said that it's kind of void if the social security number is not on there, right?
Oh, correct. Yeah.
So,
It's great that you have the form, but then you definitely have to withhold if there's no social security number on it.
But Main Street, or if that's what takes care of it, then there's no issue.
Correct.
Perfect, leverage.
Okay?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Isn't that just on homes over 300,000?
No. Yeah, see this whole packet of papers, there's a question answer thing on it. But no, that's not the case. That is one of the exclusions. There are multiple exclusions, but once again, you still have to have the form with the social security number on it to even get the exclusion to not withhold. Does that make sense? So if you don't have the form, you have to withhold.
So can you get the buyer to sign it and then have the seller put in the social security number and then give it to escrow?
No, because you have to give that form to your buyer and they have to retain it for 5 years.
Yeah, buyer has to retain this for 5 years. Oh, it gets crazy the way this law is written, and this is FERPTA, not California.
Why don't they just hold it within the
Okay.
Unless you're escrow.
So,
Just leverage to escrow.
yes, so we will be discussing this further with the ALC and trying to see how we can get a streamlined policy because we really want to make it as easy as possible for you guys to comply with the law and also to make sure that we don't get our buyers in a situation where they were supposed to withhold a large chunk of money and now it comes back on them, right? But we, on the other side of the coin, we don't want to be storing a bunch of people's social security numbers for 5 years that we don't need to.
And this law's been in place for years, it's just always been handled with the escrow companies until
Correct.
recently, and so now we are gonna have to handle it ourselves.
yeah, because I've never seen it.
So, it's handled with Main Street Escrow. All right,
So
go
we're-
fight sell
so we're not getting
and
our-
sign your FERPTA.
So we're not getting our commission check anymore until that's done?
There you go. We'll need to
Is that
have
it?
this in here or have it checked off by the escrow company that they're taking care of, which is fine. Then you don't need to have this form in your file.
Speaking of happy things, we have happy birthdays. And Blair's still here. Happy birthday. These are birthdays that are coming up. Happy birthday, Katie. Larry, happy birthday. And everyone else that has a birthday within the next week or so. We had several this week too. They went out. Brittany sent those out. So happy birthday. A lot of August birthdays.
Oh, August 10th birthday.
Yeah.
Well, August 10th, yeah.
It's a big day.
Yeah, you guys all get together. Also, another happy occasion, we have a capper. Happy Capper Day.
Happy Capper Day.
Cultural Minute, Hollis, you're up.
That's me. Oh, Holland.
Okay, so this one, sorry, my leg's falling asleep, is paying a struggling associate's fees anonymously. This one's kind of cut and dry. If somebody's struggling and you've had a good month, it wouldn't be a bad idea to help them out and help pay their space rent, help pay a transaction fee, or if you're having a transaction with them, it's a great idea. But beyond that, I wanted to remind everybody that when we are on social media and things like that, we are still representing Keller Williams. And so in your posts and your pictures and dealing with other people in the community, try to remember to be within culture and don't say things that you wouldn't want said about you, or post things about people that you wouldn't want posted about you. So just a quick friendly reminder. And now we can go on to bucket filling.
Bucket filling.
This is our new bucket. It lives downstairs. There are forms downstairs next to it for you to fill out so that you don't forget to fill somebody's bucket when bucket filling comes up. So we have 2 people who have done bucket filling this week because it's brand new. So don't forget it because it'll get lonely. And this person would like to fill Heather, Ed, Joe, and Barbara for an amazing, fill their bucket, sorry, for an amazing job with the spaghetti dinner. And this one says, I would like to fill my Keller Williams family's bucket for the support they have given me during a family crisis. And that was Ed. And so,
Thank you, Hollis.
don't forget to fill
So
buckets.
downstairs by Brittany, and the little pieces of cards are down there that you can fill out too. If the cards are not there, just take a piece of paper and we'll read them at the sales meeting. You can keep them anonymous or you can put your name on there, either way. It's positive stuff. Do we have any other buckets anybody else wants to fill?
I have a success story. It's more for Robin.
Do it.
Robin had her baby on Monday evening. Landon Harvey Graham. 6 pounds, 12 ounces. Very healthy baby boy.
All right. 12 pounds, 12 ounces.
6 pounds. That's a toddler.
Did you name him Jack?
Poor thing. Poor Robin.
All right. Any other success stories or buckets to fill?
Oh, that's hysterical.
Was that a hand or just a? No. Okay.
No.
Any others? Okay. Any quick lesson learned? What we observed, found out, discovered about FERPTA? Anything else? Lesson learned? Yes.
Well, I wanted to feel Kelly. I was trying to get her to come up to the meeting. She passed her real estate exam, Kelly Jennings, so she's excited about that. And a lesson learned for her, she was trying to take the loan properties, crash course, and they told her don't do it. Wayne had a perfect, it's worked for a lot of people, it worked for you. And so she stuck to it and she studied those questions on the exam and she passed it. So
Awesome.
I want to
Good for her.
her bucket. She was really excited about that.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that content. Any other buckets or lesson learned before we wrap up the meeting? Yes.
Well, Steve Bates was talking about Marion, the lady for Chicago title. He's right. I know the one day that I needed the labels, the next day all of the 500 labels were here downstairs for me. So she's on. She's waiting for your business.
Very good. Thank you.
Right.
Any other last lesson learned? Fill the bucket success stories. All right. Well, thank you for being here. You guys have an awesome day.